The fluorescent lights in the school hallway flickered slightly as I walked beside my daughter Ava. She was 13 now, quiet, distant lately. Her long brown hair swayed as she walked ahead of me, shoulders stiff, backpack slung to low. She didn't look back once. Parent-teacher night. I hadn't missed a single one since the divorce. Even when her mother tried to shift the schedule, even when Ava barely said a word during the drive, we stepped into her homeroom. A woman in a gray cardigan greeted us. "You must be Ava's parents." Before I could respond, Ava gestured to the man behind us. "This is my real dad," she said, smiling up at Evan, her stepfather. "And that's my mom's ex." The words didn't come like a punch. They came like something far worse, like the quiet snap of a branch breaking deep in the woods. You don't hear it until it's already done. I turned toward the teacher, smiled politely, and shook her hand. "Nice to meet you." Then I walked out of the classroom, out of the school, out into the night where the parking lot buzzed with yellow light. I sat in my car, both hands on the wheel, eyes fixed ahead as Evan's voice and Ava's laughter echoed behind me. The next few days were silent. Ava didn't call. Her mother, Rachel, didn't text. That used to bother me, how she'd only contact me when she needed something. But after 3 years of this post-divorce rhythm, I'd grown numb, until I got the call from the orthodontist. "Mr. Hale, just a heads up, your automatic payment for Ava's braces bounced." I blinked. That can't be right. I updated my account 2 months ago. We tried to charge it twice this week. Still declined. Then, the email from the summer camp. "Your child's registration has been canceled due to non-payment." Rachel had promised she'd handle it this year. She insisted on it, said she and Evan were doing great, that it was time I stepped back a bit. I didn't argue. I should have. 3 days later, she showed up at my apartment, hair in a messy bun, eyes red, no makeup, just a trembling hand, clutching a wrinkled envelope. "I messed up," she whispered. I didn't let her in. I leaned on the doorframe and waited. "I lost my job 3 months ago," she said, voice cracking. "Evan didn't want to cover the extra bills," he said. Ava wasn't his responsibility financially. I stayed silent. "We got into this huge fight last night," she continued. "He told Ava I was using him, that he never wanted to be a father to someone else's kid." A flicker of something cruel twisted in my chest. I didn't want to feel sorry for her, not after what she'd done. "You remember the summer before we split?" I said calmly. "You kept saying you were working late." Her eyes fell to the floor. "It was Evan, wasn't it?" I asked. She nodded slowly. "I didn't mean for it to happen. I was lonely. You were always so withdrawn, focused on work. And Evan," he listened. I laughed bitterly. "No. He flattered you. There's a difference. I never thought he'd replace you," she whispered. "I thought he'd just fill the gaps you left." The rage came not loud, but cold and slicing. "You turned my daughter against me." "I didn't." She called him her real dad, Rachel. "She introduced me as your ex to her teacher." She broke then, sunk down on the steps outside my door and sobbed. "I didn't ask her to do that. She did it on her own. Because I kept praising Evan. Because I let him be the hero while I made you the villain." I leaned my head against the frame, exhaling slowly. This wasn't just about betrayal. It was about the erosion of everything I had quietly built. I had let Ava go too easily, let Rachel shape the story, and now my own daughter believed I was a footnote in her life. "Why are you here, Rachel?" I asked after a long silence. She looked up at me with swollen eyes. "Because I don't know how to fix this. And because I know you still care. You always did." I didn't answer. Instead, I walked back into my apartment, grabbed my laptop, and logged into my bank account. I updated the payment method for the braces. I called the summer camp and wired the full amount, with a late fee. I asked if they could make room for Ava again. They could. Then I stood over Rachel, still crumpled on the steps. "You don't get to ask me for anything else," I said. "You burned that bridge." "But Ava, she's still my daughter." "Whether she knows it or not." She nodded, too ashamed to speak. I called Ava that night. She picked up after the 4th ring. "Hey," I said softly. "I just wanted to let you know your braces appointment is still on for Thursday. And camp's back on. I took care of it." Silence. Then, "Thanks." I didn't bring up parent-teacher night. I didn't ask why she said what she did. She was 13, confused, angry, caught in the wreckage of her parents' mistakes. But before she hung up, she said one thing that stuck. "Dad? Yeah? I'm sorry I said that. I didn't mean it." I nodded. my throat tight. I know, kiddo. We said goodnight. The next week, she came over for dinner. No Evan. No Rachel. Just us. We didn't talk about the past. We didn't need to, but when she hugged me before bed, really hugged me, I knew something had shifted. Something had begun to heal. Rachel called again a few weeks later. I didn't answer. Some things, once broken, stay broken, but others, like a daughter's love, can still be rebuilt, one quiet moment at a time.